Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michel. I am Michelle. So tonight I'm going to be making a recipe that is my own creation. This is my version of lasagna. I like to do lasagna with ricotta and mushrooms and a lot of cheese and some Italian sausage. So that's what's going to basically, those are the ingredients. But I just kind of came up with my own, and I've served this many times and thought I would share it with everybody. So you can feel free to adapt it to what you like, change out things that you don't like for something else, but here's what we do. We're going to start off with the sausage. We're going to cook up the sausage. At the same time that I have the sausage going, I'm also going to be cooking my lasagna noodles. So I've got 16 lasagna noodles cooking. You can pick any brand. I've got Barilla, but pick out whatever you like. Here in this pan, I'm going to be cooking this up over some medium-high heat. This is a pound of hot Italian sausage. So now that we've got this cooked, we're going to go ahead and use a slotted spoon to transfer it to a plate, a bowl, whatever you want over here. You want to leave that rendered grease behind. Okay, so once you've got all of that out of there, you're now going to put in just a smidge of oil to go with the rendered fat. I don't measure this, I just put some in because you're going to need a little bit more so you can cook your 1 pound of button mushrooms that have been sliced up. And I also usually turn back my heat at this point to about medium, which I already did before I went to the next step. You don't want your mushrooms to cook quite as fast as that. Alright, so once the mushrooms have started to give up their liquid here, you can see there's a little bit of liquid in the pan. You're going to add in 1 tablespoon of jarred minced garlic, or if you want to, you could also do 6 cloves of fresh. I'm just trying to be quick, so that's why I'm kind of using some more shortcut type ingredients here. And we'll let those mushrooms cook the rest of the way out. Okay, so the mushrooms have cooked. There's still a little bit of liquid left in the pan. I don't need that, so I'm just going to kind of try to scoop it out. You can use a slotted spoon if you want to. You don't have to. But either way, we're going to put those over in some kind of bowl or container. Get them off the heat here. Alright, so once you've got the mushrooms like that, you're going to be putting in some fresh basil. Now, if you had dried basil, I'm sure that would be fine too. I just prefer fresh basil whenever possible on something like this. And I don't have a set amount. I just cut up what I had. Usually it's like around 2 to 3 tablespoons. So I put that in there. And since the mushrooms are still hot, it will cook it just a little bit, but not too much. That smells so good. Alright, for the next part, this is some of the cheese filling part. We're going to be starting off with a whole tub, which is 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. You can use, I'm using the whole milk kind, but you can also use part skim, whatever you feel like. And then to that, I'm going to be adding 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan. You can use the pre-shredded kind if you like. That's what I'm doing for speed, but you could also shred it yourself. And then 1 8-ounce bag of Italian cheese blend. I'm using the Sargento, but you can use, again, whatever cheese, Italian cheese blend you want. If you don't have an Italian cheese blend, you could also sub in just mozzarella or whatever cheese you want. And then to that, we will put in 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning and 1 egg. I just used the carton so I didn't have to dirty a dish. And so we're just gonna mix all that together. It's a little awkward to mix together, but it will start actually kind of forming a mixture, if you will, at some point. You could also use your hands if you want to get dirty with your hands. Alright, so now we're ready to construct the lasagna. So here in the lasagna pan, I've got a big lasagna baker here. I've put some sauce already on the bottom. Now what I did was I blended some sauce together. It's kind of messy on this side, sorry. But I blended some together. These two, it depends on what you like. I just like the taste of these two blended together. But choose what you like for your sauce. Make your own sauce if that makes you happy too. And then what we're gonna do is put some lasagna noodles on the bottom here. We're gonna make 1 layer with 4 of our noodles. Once we've got that, we're going to be putting on some of this ricotta layer. We're going to use about 1/3 of it on here. And kind of spoon it and spread it once you get it in there. All right, next we'll spread out about 1/3 of our sausage here. Followed by about 1/3 of our mushroom mixture. And then, yes, I washed my hand before doing this. So you do have to wash your hands a couple of times while you do this, or rinse them off or whatever. Then we've got some mozzarella. And again, it's not a set amount, so I just kind of make a layer over the top like that. And last part of the layer is to do some more of your sauce. Kind of like that. And then we'll start the process over again with another 4 noodles, and you're going to repeat the layers exactly as you did. Once you have those, we'll show you what to do at the top. All right, so the last thing I did was, of course, to put the last layer of noodles up here. And if I didn't mention it already, I'm going to say this just in case I didn't mention it. Your oven needs to be on 375 Fahrenheit. While you're preparing this, but you can turn it on now, or whenever you're ready to bake this. You could have this prepared and ready to go in the oven at some point. Anyway, with your sauce, hopefully you have enough left over to put this on the top. If you don't, when you get to that last layer, you can leave the sauce off of the top right there before putting the noodles on and just put it here. But I always like to put the sauce on top of my noodles. The remaining sauce is what I should say. So I'm going to try to kind of spread that just a little bit over those. It's not a real heavy layer here. And I ended up just using up that one bag, the 8-ounce bag of the mozzarella inside of the lasagna, and that seemed like a pretty good amount. You could go heavier if you want to. And then here at the top, you can top it with some more mozzarella. I've never tried using this particular one on here. I use this usually on pizza, the rustic cut. That's what they happened to have when I went to the store the other day. So I'm going to try this rustic cut mozzarella up top. I've also used Asiago, Fontina, just whatever cheese you like. You can also just do a light sprinkling of Parmesan. Again, I've tried combinations of all of those things. Voilà. And so once you get that topped, you're going to pop that into the oven. We're going to put it in for 45 minutes. And then once it has finished baking, you're going to need to let it set for at least 10 minutes before serving. Okay, so here we are at final plating. Well, first I'm just going to show you this and then I'll plate it so you can see the layers. But this is what it looks like once it's gotten all baked. And I have let mine set for more than 10 minutes. It's more like about 25 or 30 that it's been setting, just because I had other stuff I had to do. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut into this and we can see what it looks on our final plate. All right, so I took out a slice of it here to serve. Just wanted to show you there with those layers and everything, how beautiful it looks. It looks like it's gonna be super tasty as always. I already know it's great, so I'm not gonna try to do a taste test on camera because as we all know, it's a little messy to cut through the layers of lasagna and things like that. Anyway, thank you for joining me again for another episode of Cuisine de Michel. Please be sure to visit my blog, which is cuisinemichel.com. That's where you'll find this recipe and so many others. But also be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, please, please, please. I'm really trying hard to keep my numbers going up. And then, of course, leave me a comment if you decide to try this, or what do you like in your lasagna? You can definitely adapt this recipe to make it to your tastes. And we'll see you next time. Au revoir.